Today, we are looking at how to 5x your conversions in 2026, and the first thing you must do is to stop competing on price. If you are sitting there right now, watching your profit margins get squeezed thinner than a sheet of paper because a competitor just undercut you by $5, you aren't running a business. You're running a charity for your customers. In 2026, the market is no longer a physical place. It's a battle for 3 seconds of attention in a sea of AI-generated noise. The deepest pain I see SME owners facing today isn't a lack of talent or a bad product. It's the invisible merchant syndrome. You have the best solution, you work the hardest, but to the person scrolling on their phone, you look exactly like everyone else. It hurts, doesn't it? Knowing you're better, but being ignored because you haven't answered the one question every customer is screaming internally. Why should they choose you? I remember a business owner named Sarah. She ran an eco-friendly packaging company. In 2024, she was thriving. By the end of 2025, her revenue had plummeted by 40%. And why? Because eco-friendly was no longer a USP. It was a baseline requirement. She was crying in her home office because she thought she'd have to lay off her team of 4. She felt like a failure. But Sarah didn't fail. Her framework did. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you the exact why us framework we used to take Sarah from just another vendor to the only logical choice for her niche, doubling her lead flow in 60 days. You will walk away with a step-by-step blueprint to find your unique selling proposition, even if you feel your industry is boring or oversaturated. I've spent over a decade in the trenches of digital marketing, and I've seen what works when the algorithm shifts. This isn't theory, it's the 2026 survival guide for the modern entrepreneur. The truth is, it's not your fault that you feel invisible. We were all taught the old-school marketing rules. Build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door. That is a lie in 2026. Today, there are 10,000 better mousetraps being advertised to your customers before they've even finished their morning coffee. The problem is feature fatigue. You're out there shouting about your 24/7 support, your high-quality materials, or your years of experience. But here's the cold, hard truth. Your customers don't care about your experience. They care about their transformation. When you focus on features, you become a commodity. And commodities are bought based on the lowest price. If you don't fix this, if you don't move from what we do to why us, the stakes are terminal. You will eventually be automated out of existence or priced out by a giant corporation with more capital. You'll keep working 80-hour weeks for 40-hour pay until you burn out and lose the passion that started this journey in the first place. I want to help you break that cycle. To dive deep into the mechanics of how we actually rebuild your identity in this crowded market, I'm now handing it over to my colleague Bryce. He's the architect behind some of the most successful USP pivots I've ever seen. Bryce, show them how we flip the script.
Thanks, Malcolm. Let's get to work. Finding your unique selling proposition in 2026 requires a radical shift in perspective, by moving away from being the best and toward being the only. To do that, we use the Why Us framework. Pillar 1, the identity mirror strategy. The first mistake entrepreneurs make is looking in the mirror to find their USP. You shouldn't be looking at yourself. You should be looking at the customer's identity. In 2026, people don't buy products. They buy versions of themselves. Here's an example. Think about 2 companies selling coffee. One sells organic dark roast. The other sells the fuel for creative rebels. The product is identical, but the second one has a USP built on identity. Here's why this matters. When you align your USP with who the customer wants to be, price becomes irrelevant. You aren't selling beans, you're selling the feeling of being a creative rebel. To do this, ask yourself, what is the one thing my customer wants to tell their friends about themselves after they use my service? If you sell accounting services to small businesses, your USP isn't tax compliance. It's the freedom to focus on your craft. You are the guardian of their creative time. That is a USP people will pay a premium for. Pillar 2, radical specificity. the niche down to scale-up paradox. The biggest fear SME owners have is leaving money on the table by being too specific. But in a globalized 2026 economy, being a generalist is a death sentence. A USP that tries to appeal to everyone appeals to no one. Imagine you need heart surgery. Do you go to a general doctor or a cardiovascular surgeon specializing in minimally invasive valve repair? You go to the specialist, and you pay them 10 times more. So, how do you apply this? Use the only who formula. We are the only your service for specific audience, who, specific pain point. For example, we are the only SEO agency for local plumbers who are tired of getting low-quality leads from Google Ads. Suddenly, you aren't competing with 5,000 SEO agencies. You are the only choice for that specific plumber. Specificity creates a category of one. Pillar 3. The friction-free guarantee. By 2026, consumer skepticism is at an all-time high. Everyone has been burned by a guru or a big company that didn't deliver. So, your USP must include a risk reversal that feels almost too good to be true. This isn't just a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's a success or we pay you model. One of our customers, a landscaping firm, changed their USP from great lawns to, if your lawn isn't the greenest on the block in 30 days, we'll pay for your next 3 months of service with a competitor. Here's why this matters. It proves you have skin in the game. It transforms your USP from a marketing slogan into a massive vote of confidence in your own work. Because when the risk of the transaction is on your shoulders instead of the customer's, the why us question is answered by the sheer lack of risk. Each of these pillars builds a wall around your business that competitors can't climb. But how does this look when it actually hits the real world? Let's go back to Sarah, the eco-friendly packaging owner I mentioned earlier. Sarah was exhausted. She was about to give up. When we sat down with her, we used the Why Us framework to flip her business upside down. Here is how we did it in 3 simple moves. 1. We changed who her customer felt like, the identity mirror. Instead of just selling recycled cardboard, we changed her message to target business owners who want to be seen as protectors of the ocean. The result? Her customers weren't just buying a box. They were buying the good person badge they could show off to their own followers. 2. We picked a specific fight, radical specificity. Sarah stopped trying to sell to every business on earth. We narrowed her focus strictly to high-end organic skincare brands. The result? She became an expert in their world. She knew their bottle sizes, their leaking issues, and their luxury vibe. She wasn't a box lady anymore. She was a skincare shipping specialist. We took away the what if, the friction-free guarantee. Sarah's customers were terrified of shipping delays, so she made a bold promise. If our packaging causes even 1 day of delay, we refund your entire order plus an extra 10% for the trouble. The result? This killed the fear. It showed she had skin in the game. The change was like flipping a light switch. Sarah stopped fighting over 50 cents per box. She became a partner in her customers' success. 2 months later, instead of closing her doors, she was hiring new staff. She told me with tears in her eyes, for the first time in 3 years, I'm not scared of the mail. The lesson for you: Sarah didn't get lucky. She just stopped being a generalist and started being the only person who solved a very specific problem for a very specific group of people. The big promise made at the start, that you'd feel equipped and hopeful, comes from knowing that your USP isn't something you invent. It's something you uncover by focusing on the human on the other side of a screen. And with that, I'll hand you back to Malcolm.
Thanks, Bryce. To recap, to win in 2026, you need to mirror your customer's identity, get radically specific, and remove every ounce of risk from the deal. If this feels like a lot, don't worry. I've put together something to help you bridge the gap. Right below this video in the description, there is a link to our 9-day ideal customer magnet blueprint and workbook. It's a valuable resource that walks you through these exercises step by step so you can stop guessing and start growing. Go ahead and click that link now. And if this video gave you that light bulb moment, hit the like button and subscribe. It tells the algorithm that SME owners like you value real, actionable advice. Also, comment below with your industry. I'd love to hear what your current why us is, and maybe Bryce and I can give you some feedback. The next step in your journey isn't just finding your USP, it's communicating it through content. This is why you should watch videos on our channel, because once you have your why us, you need the world to hear it.